Hello everyone! Welcome to the third and final video in this series in which we explore the best new and upcoming video games from the latest Steam Next Fest that happened in June. After rolling through 4,000 trailers and testing over 100 demos, I came across many awesome games. In the first video, we checked out all of the detective, deduction and horror titles. In the second one, we looked at a bunch of action, adventure and puzzle games, but today it's all about the cute, cozy and chill games. We have some good variety, ranging from fun simulators to addictive cleaning and sorting games, and cute and immersive adventures, so hopefully there will be a little bit of something for everyone. As always, the order of the list is based solely on my personal subjective enjoyment of the games. Let's get into it! Starting off at number 25, we have Eggstreme Farming, developed and published by Sagita Studios. In this cute farming sim, you lay the foundations, pun intended, of your eggy empire with a single chicken. You have to take care of it, giving it food, water and medicine as needed, and as it starts laying eggs you begin profiting and expanding your business. In the demo, the game lets you work up to a maximum of 12 birds, with 2 breeds of chickens and ducks respectively, but in the full release there will also be geese and turkeys, and you will be able to buy multiple enclosures, and you will eventually be able to hatch your own birds from eggs. The very early stages of the game were a little bit slow going, as I had no money and pretty much nothing to do apart from waiting for my chicken to produce the goods. But once I acquired my first 3 animals, the gameplay became more balanced. Even with the initial uneventfulness, I liked how the early game economy worked because it forced you to make some choices. Every day came with expenses for feed, water, medicine, rent and utility bills, and you start off not making enough money to cover all of these expenses. The game gives you the option to take out a loan from the bank, but you need to be strategic about it because every day you have to pay an interest on the amount you took out. In my experience, once I got past the point of owning 6 animals, the money was coming in steadily, so I didn't have to take out any more loans and I could manage all my daily expenses with no issues. I ended the demo with 12 animals, and even at this stage there was a lot to do, so I can imagine the absolute eggy chaos that would unfold once you have a giant farm. If you like farming sims and farm birds, you'll probably enjoy this one. It comes out on the 4th of September 2026. Next up at number 24, we have Hell Cleaners, developed and published by WFP Entertainment. Wait, don't click off. I know I said cute and cozy games and then immediately dragged you to hell, but hear me out. Well, this one isn't cute or cozy. Well, I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I think the Doombas are pretty goofy and cute, but anyway, this is a very chill game, and if you like the recent trends in cleaning and sorting games, you'll probably have fun with this one. The premise is that you just got a job in hell, working as an infernal reclamation specialist, and your job is to clean up hell from a layer of corruption and rot. To do this, you must upgrade a bunch of purification machines by feeding them with the piles upon piles of demon bodies lying around everywhere. You have a trusty weapon called a suckler, which reminds me of the guns from High on Life with its little eye, however this one doesn't have the added feature of talking and being mean to you. It can, however, be used to break up the demon bodies into bits to feed into the purifier, and you can also deploy several tentacles to drag stuff around with it. The end goal of the game is not only to clean the corruption, but also to set up automation systems that take care of all the bodies that keep dropping down. To do that, you can deploy some octopus-looking minions called Doombas who float around and carry parts to the machines, and you can also set up some of these big guys called grinders, which assist in processing the bodies. While the game is very cartoony and has a good sense of humor, it leans a little bit more on the gross side, but if you can deal with that, it's a very good one to zone out to. While I was playing the demo, I didn't even notice when 2 hours just flew by. The full release is set for the 24th of August 2026. At number 23 we have Design and Conjure, developed by Tiny Kiwi Games. In this one, you play as a young witch returning to her hometown who sets off on a heartwarming journey of cleaning, interior design and magic to help the people and magical creatures around her. You also have a magical cat familiar by your side to guide you and to share some witty banter with. The art style is very cute and cozy, it has some chill music in the background to set the mood, and the sorting mechanics are pretty satisfying. The storyline of the game will have 7 levels and 12 rooms to decorate, and there will also be a creative mode, which just lets you focus on building your dream cottage. If you like games like Unpacking and Cozy, I think this one is worth checking out. It's listed as coming soon. At number 22 we have Moldwasher, developed by Ruble Games. In this pixelated cleaning adventure, you play as a little piece of nigiri sushi wielding a power washer, and your job is to get rid of every last piece of dirt, mold and grime you can find. The full game will let you choose between 7 different cleaning tools, and there will also be over 30 levels and some additional collectibles hiding among the dirt. I sadly lost my recording for the demo, so I'm showing you some of the trailer footage, but it was a very fun one to try out. The pixelated art style is very cute, the levels don't take too much time to beat, and the mechanics are fun. The full release of this one is already out as of the 23rd of June 2026. At number 21, we have Organize My Shop, developed and published by Owls Howls. Why do these games keep torturing me with difficult to pronounce words? I swear that there's at least a couple of them in every video and I sound like Scooby-Doo while I'm doing all the rough cuts of my voiceovers. Anyhoot, as the title suggests, in this cute little game, our job is to pick goods off of a conveyor belt and sort them by type on the various shelves of a general store. The hand-drawn art style of all the little items is very cute, the game has an upbeat soundtrack, and the gameplay is very relaxing. If you like the premise of sorting out a store, but some of the recent games with ginormous levels scare you away from it, I think this one may appeal to you more, as the chaos is a lot more manageable. The game is already out as of the 24th of July 2026, and the developer is currently working on a second chapter that will include new levels and new items to sort. At number 20 we have a game about chopping trees, developed by Space Raccoon Game Studio. This one takes a simple premise and turns it into a meditative experience. The entire gameplay loop revolves around you walking around beautiful forests with an axe in hand, chopping down trees and processing the logs for cash, which you can then use to upgrade your workflow. The scenery and music create a very peaceful atmosphere. In the demo, the beginning of the game was a little bit too slow for me, because you can carry very few logs and your movement speed is something that you'd gradually need to upgrade, but after I got past this initial hurdle, the rest of the game was very enjoyable. It's just one of those games that lets your mind wander as you run around a beautiful environment. Based on the trailers, the full game will have different beautiful areas to explore, which you can reach by riding on an old train, and you will also have the ability to plant new trees to compensate for your deforestation activities. This one is already available to play as of the 15th of July 2026. Next up at number 19 we have Pigeon, a love story, developed by ReStory. The demo for this one was very dreamlike, and the premise of the game is very beautiful and sentimental. In this game, you explore realistic maps of different cities around the world, and you play as a pigeon looking for its soulmate among thousands of other birds. As you search for your beloved, you can fly past famous landmarks in the cities to collect them. In addition to the game's beautiful soundtrack, you will be accompanied by a symphony of soft coos as you make your love calls and the other pigeons respond. Every time you make a sound, the nearest pigeons will give out a short little polite rejection to your advances as they fly away, which I thought was a fun little touch. In the demo, I spent 20 minutes flying and sightseeing across the beautiful skies of London until my pigeon found its mate. The full release of the game will also include maps of New York, Tokyo, Paris and Amsterdam. There will also be some additional game modes, including co-op for up to 8 people, where you can either try to find each other or compete to find your soulmates first. And there will also be the option to let the game play itself in the background on your screen while you work on something else. The full release is just around the corner, coming out on the 6th of August 2026. At number 18 we have Wanderer Wheels, developed and published by Sabotage Games. This is another sentimental one. In this game, you set off on a long road trip home where you will reunite with your sick wife, and along the way you will try to make enough money for an expensive medical procedure that she desperately needs. Your van works as a mobile thrift shop from where you can sell various items at makeshift roadside markets. Along the way, you will interact with various strangers and you will do odd jobs, each bringing you one step closer to your final destination. The more side quests you take on, the more opportunities will open up for you on your journey. The full release of this one promises to be a 3 to 4 hour experience. The demo was very pleasant and cozy, even if a little somber due to the game's storyline. The available gameplay gives a good taste of what the full game's loop is going to be like. The starting locations are in the middle of the desert, so the landscape was a little bit barren, but based on the trailers, the full release will take you through various locations and the gameplay will gradually become richer. This one is listed as coming soon. At number 17 we have Finding Polka, developed by Lidlocks. The first thing that caught my eye with this one was the art style, because the entire world looks like it's drawn with a ballpoint pen. In this whimsical little adventure, you play as a girl taking her dog out for a walk when she suddenly spots another dog which looks identical to her childhood pooch Polka, so she chases after it. As you follow the clues and the pea trails, you run around the whimsical town bustling with activity and fun characters, and there are a bunch of little puzzles and mini-games that you can complete as you progress. I really like the fun little animations of high-fiving other people and critters every time you help them out with their predicaments. It was very cute. Also, the titular Polka is a very cute little Frenchie, and I absolutely love them with their little alien faces. This one is very fun to play, and it's definitely worth checking out. Its release date is set for the 11th of August 2026. At number 16 we have Vampy's Big Day, developed and published by Gerbob. I really like the MS Paint looking art style of this one. It's so cute and derpy. I especially liked Vampy himself and all the little animals around the world. In this one, you play as a weak, scrawny little vampire who befriends a sun fairy, and the two of you set off on an adventure. The game doesn't make the rules super clear off the get-go, but there is in fact a sort of morality system, which is based on how bloodthirsty you are. The people and animals in this world aren't particularly fond of vampires, so your options are to pacifistically sneak around, or to become a true monster and slurp them up like a bunch of Capri Suns. And presumably there will be different consequences for whichever route you choose. And regardless of your choices, we have a bigger problem, because just like me, Vampy dies when he gets exposed to direct sunlight, so with the help of your little fairy friend, you need to manipulate the angle at which shade falls around objects so that you can safely traverse on your quest. The full version of this one is probably still a ways away, because the release date is yet to be announced. At number 15 we have Sophia's Path, developed and published by One Nipe Studios. Or maybe Wannabe Studios? I'm not completely sure with this one, so apologies. In this ancient Greek adventure, you play as a brave little girl on a journey to find her father. In the demo, you start off in your home village and you make your way through the Wonder Woods towards the temples of various Greek gods. The game uses what it describes as turn-based path puzzles, in which you have to carefully think about the order and direction of your traversal in order to avoid traps, activate mechanisms, and collect items. The full release will have over 60 puzzle paths across several different game worlds, in which you will meet interesting characters and you will traverse the realms of different gods from Greek mythology. There are also various critters and relics hiding across the world, which you can search for in point-and-click style. The demo for this one covers the first chapter of the game. It's very cute and relaxing, the art style is very cheerful and beautifully hand-drawn, and the soundtrack really adds to the whole vibe. The full release of this one is coming soon. Next up at number 14 we have Nightwater, developed by Studio Ashti. This one looks very interesting. It definitely takes a few points from Blueprints, both in its art style, which is very reminiscent of it, and in some of the game's structure, but it's definitely doing its own unique thing with them. You find yourself in a forest habitat, and you have to mine the resources around you in order to build machinery needed for your progression. As you gather enough raw materials, you will gradually be able to create more world tiles in front of you, each with its own habitat and resources. Your end goal is to reach a lighthouse in the far distance. The machines you build and upgrade will help you create a sort of factory-style automation that will escalate the speed at which you gather resources. The game's page states that beyond the basic endpoint of reaching the lighthouse, Nightwater will also contain a deep personal storyline which will be hidden from plain sight in the form of notes and secrets, which will be completely optional for players who wish to engage with them. In total, the game will have 4 different endings that you can reach depending on how deeply you choose to engage with its world. The full release is set for Q3 of 2026. At number 13 we have Cozy Game Restoration, developed and published by Parasol Corp. This one is definitely for the patient players out there. It's super calm and meditative. It's a very well constructed simulator in which you sit at your desk and you clean up old video game cartridges, peeling off stickers, brushing off dust and grime, and dissolving ink and glue stains. There are a total of 108 games, inspired by real-world titles published between the 80s and the 2000s. Among them there will be common ones, as well as some rare collector editions. The games arrive to you in mystery packages, and the grime and dirt on them are procedurally generated, providing a good variety with each new box you open. Apart from the simple enjoyment of the game mechanics, there will also be a bunch of tasks related to completing your in-game game collection. This is one of those games that makes time just fly by once you get lost in it. I enjoyed the demo, it was a good representation of the full game, it controlled well, and the gameplay mechanics are responsive and satisfying, so I'll definitely revisit the full release one day. It's set to come out on the 24th of September 2026. At number 12 we have Beyond Yardwork Simulator, developed by Joydev. Somewhere deep in the recesses of my YouTube viewing history, you'll find a good pile of videos from people who film time-lapses of landscaping overgrown yards and gardens. I've always found it very mesmerizing to watch, and it's not just me romanticizing the process without ever having touched a strand of grass in my life. I've spent a good chunk of my childhood doing similar things with my parents whenever we went to the countryside, but as someone who currently spends over 99% of my time in a big city, I do find it special whenever I'm in close contact with nature. And that feeling extends to my gaming hobby as well, because for a while now, I've been looking for satisfying games revolving around yard work, and while I still haven't found the perfect one, I think what we have here is a good contender. In Beyond Yardwork Simulator, you run a one-person landscaping business. From mowing lawns to pressure washing pavement and sorting garbage, with each client contract you complete, you get money, and you can invest it to rebuild and refurnish your old fixer-upper house and its jungle of a yard. The demo for this one lets you try out the various gameplay mechanics. They have a good visual and technical level of realism, and they're also enjoyable to complete. My only current gripe with the game is that it gave me pretty bad motion sickness, which many first-person games unfortunately do, mostly whenever I try to run in the game, but I hope that in the full release there will be some sort of option that turns down all the constant bobbing of the camera whenever you move fast. Apart from that, I really enjoyed the demo, the client mission was fun to play, and I liked how big my character's house is, because it's going to be very fun to see it gradually transform. So, if you like yard work and a pinch of house flipping on top, definitely check this one out. It comes out at an undisclosed date in 2026. At number 11 we have Echoes from Ciudadela, developed and published by Kronos Interactive. In this puzzle-driven narrative adventure, you step into the shoes of a son fulfilling the dying wish of his estranged father to have his ashes scattered from the top of a mountain with the titular name. As you get ready to spend the night in a cottage at the base of the mountain, you discover your father's secret journal, which holds his notes on a mysterious ancient civilization hidden within the mountain. You also find a special sling, which will be a useful weapon for solving puzzles during your quest. The game will combine beautiful natural vistas inspired by Patagonia with mysterious mountain caverns full of strange ancient technology. It will be up to you to get to the bottom of the mystery. This one is already available to play as of the 23rd of July 2026. Over the past couple of years, the internet exploded with people tormenting their significant others with the deep philosophical question, would you love me if I was a worm? But no one stopped to ask, will my employer still love me if I was a worm? To answer this very important question, we have our number 10, Worming from Home, developed by Zach Northrop and Mason Sapharwal. Apologies if I butchered any of the names. This unhinged little work-from-home simulator functions with ragdoll physics, and while it is a bit clunky and difficult to be a successful corporate worm, this one doesn't try to be a rage game, or at least not based on what I saw in the demo. The main work you have to do is filling out Excel sheets by slapping your presumable face on the keyboard, and apart from that you have to keep up with a calendar with little daily to-do tasks, and you also have some time to slack off by reading books and weightlifting, and you can also invest money on the stock market and chat with your colleagues. The Steam page for this one says that the full release will be a smaller game with around 3 hours of gameplay. I definitely had a laugh with this one. I was determined to be a good worm, and I did all of my tasks, including the needed hours of beauty sleep in my flower pot, which is a skill that I still haven't mastered in real life, so while I go work on that, you can check out the full release of this one, which is set for the 4th of September 2026. At number 9, we have GrassChopper, developed and published by GrassChoppers. If mowing regular grass isn't your thing, how about mutated, insanely fast-growing monster grass? Going into this demo, I didn't expect how addictive the gameplay for this one is going to be. The premise is pretty simple, move to the right and clear off the grass. But at least at the start of the game, the grass is growing back faster than you can manage chopping it. The game describes itself as an incremental hack-and-slash side-scroller. It has a pretty robust skill tree which you can unlock with the money you make from all the whacking of grass you're doing. And at the end of every grass patch there appears to be a grass boss that you have to defeat. The demo let me beat the first one, after which I reached an area where even the smaller strands of grass were too powerful for me to handle. The tall grass is so thick that your character is unable to breathe in it, so you can't just run inside Leroy Jenkins style and try to attack the boss directly. You have an oxygen tank that you can also upgrade little by little, which helps you make further progress into the thicket. As you upgrade your other skills and your blade, you'll eventually be able to progress deeper into the overgrowth. You will also come across some empty fields where you can plant different varieties of grass seeds and farm them for further seed production. The Steam store page says that this is the developer's first game, and from what I've seen so far, they definitely deserve your support, so go check them out if this one looks interesting to you. The full release is listed as coming soon. At number 8 we have ReStory, 2 electronic repairs, developed by Mandragora. In this one, you run an electronics repair kiosk set in the mid-2000s Tokyo. The gameplay features detailed mechanics for disassembling and fixing various period-appropriate electronics, ranging from mobile phones to Tamagotchis and gaming consoles. The music and art style make for a very cute and relaxing experience. The game also has a narrative component in that you carry out conversations with your various clients, and your answers will have an effect on the ending of the game. The gameplay for this one is very pleasant and meditative. The demo gave me access only to several types of items to repair, which was a little bit repetitive, but every single item had a unique issue to fix, so that created a good balance. And I'm sure that the full release will introduce more variety, as you will be able to buy licenses to repair various other types of electronics. This one is just around the corner, coming out on the 6th of August 2026. At number 7, we have Leafy Corner, developed and published by Fireline Games. In this cozy sim, you run the flower shop of your dreams. The game lets you grow, take care of and sell over 100 real-world plants, as well as some special variegated species. There's also lots of furniture and colorful plant pots that you can pick from to decorate the store to your liking. As clients look around, some will ask you for advice, and by consulting your plant guidebook, you will be able to recommend the perfect plant for them. The full version will also allow you to fulfill orders for plants, in addition to selling to customers in person. I loved the demo for this one. It was very relaxing and fun to play, and I really liked the level of realism in the plants. They reminded me of the miniature plants that I built for dioramas in real life. I'll definitely have fun with the full version of this one, and you can too, as it's already out as of the 30th of July 2026. At number 6 we have Neat, developed by Korova Games. If you like games like Unpacking, you'll probably enjoy this one. You play as Molly, a professional organizer who helps her clans bring order into their cluttered spaces that have gotten out of hand. In addition to satisfying sorting mechanics, you'll also get a glimpse into the personal stories behind each space. The demo for this one was very enjoyable. I've always liked these types of sorting games that have some requirements but also give you a level of freedom in how you approach each mission. And by the looks of it, there will be some nice variation between the levels of this one. The full release is set for the 14th of September 2026. At number 5 we have Island Keeper, developed by Scalise Artworks. In this one, you play as a robot tasked with cleaning an archipelago of islands that are drowning in trash and pollution. The more you clean up, the more you'll see the flora and fauna return to the islands before your eyes. The game lets you traverse on foot or by swimming, as well as with the help of a speedboat and a deep-sea submarine. Your home base is a cave where you can recycle the trash you collect and where you can build various pieces of technology to help you on your journey. Your robotic lifeline is dependent on a strange signal that grows weaker the further you are away from your home base. To deal with that, you must construct radio towers and solar panels to power them on the nearby islands as you venture further. The gameplay offers additional tasks like little quests, and there are various secrets to find on the islands and in the ocean depths around you. The demo for this one was very fun to play. It provides enough interesting things to do as you slowly figure out how to expand further away from your home base. I think the full version of this one will be a very relaxing and satisfying experience, which will apparently also have a pinch of mystery hidden in there for you to discover. It is set to release in 2026. Next off at number 4 we have Chop Chop Inc., developed by No Ref Entertainment. You start this one off as an employee of an Evo Furniture Corporation, but very quickly you find yourself metaphorically and literally booted out of employment. As you awaken with a probable concussion, you find yourself in a small forest where you're met by a sentient chest who fills you in on what happened and guides you on how to start your own furniture empire in order to stick it to your former employer. The game world is pretty and colorful, the game was very lighthearted and goofy, I liked all the little critters you meet, especially Bobber the Beaver, who reminds me of something out of Courage the Cowardly Dog with his big bulging eyes. The demo lets you explore 2 areas, but there appear to be at least a few different biomes, each with its own tree varieties and secrets. Running around and chopping trees was very meditative, and the furniture building mechanics were fun. I did notice I leaned on making the most expensive items over and over in order to get funds for my various missions, but I'm guessing that with the full version, as the game world opens up, there will be more incentives to build all sorts of different items. I had a great time with this one, and I'll definitely play the full version. It comes out very soon on the 7th of August 2026. At number 3 we have The Sorting Bureau, developed and published by Apple Cinco Games. Once again, this one takes us back to Japan, where we begin our apprenticeship at a little shop specialized in sorting items. Each day, the clients bring in boxes with small mixed items which you have to sort. From buttons and coins to seashells and pieces of candy, every box is full of surprises. The atmosphere is incredibly chill and satisfying. I could play this one for hours. Heck, if there's a real-life company that does that, please hire me. I absolutely love zoning out with meticulous tasks like this in games and in real life as well. The attention to detail in the game is wonderful. From the way each item is drawn to the unique little sounds that they make, it creates a very zen ASMR experience. And also, there is a cute little kitty cat keeping you company on your desk, which is always a bonus in my book. The full release of this one is set for the 21st of August 2026. At number 2 we have Cozy Grove Camp Spirit, developed and published by Spry Fox. This one is a very cute and charming little adventure. The game is reportedly the sequel title in a series, I haven't played the first Cozy Grove game, but after trying this demo, I'll definitely explore the entire series someday. You play as a little spirit scout who gets separated from her group during a camping trip. You awaken alone on a strange island, where you eventually come across various little creatures, including a sentient flame to light up your campfire and chase away the fog enveloping the world around you, as well as a bunch of bear spirits who need your help to remember who they once were. The story in this one is very charming and wholesome. I really love the cute art style of everything, from your character down to the little forest creatures scuttling around. It all works very well together. The puzzles you have to solve to help the bears are pretty intuitive, so the gameplay flows at a nice pace. As you work your way into solving the island's mystery, you'll be able to craft various items and decorate your surroundings. The game also has an asynchronous multiplayer mode, in which you're able to see other players as little ghostly figures in your game, and you can exchange gifts with them if you like. The game will also synchronize with the real-world time cycle, which means that you can log into it each day to find new quests and things to do on your island. If it looks like a game you might enjoy, you can check it out immediately, as it's already out as of the 15th of July 2026. And last, but definitely not least, we have Songs of Glimmerwick, developed and published by Eastshade Studios. The demo for this one was an absolute treat. When I was a kid, I used to love the Harry Potter books, and as an adult, I like witchy stuff, so this one really tugged on various forms of nostalgia for me. The art style of this one is very beautiful and detailed. The game is beautifully voice acted, and based on the taste test that the demo gives us, the full version will provide very rich gameplay. The premise of the story is that you are a young witch who is setting sail to explore the world outside of the small place you grew up in, only to find yourself in Glimmerwick, a land where magic and music are intertwined into one. As you arrive, you discover that somehow you have already been accepted as a new student at the local magic academy, and so your school year and your adventure begin. You learn spells by playing melodies correctly by hitting timed key combinations, and if you practice a spell enough times to reach excellence, you will be able to equip it to your quick bar. Each day you have a set amount of magical power, which you can use to tend to the school's herb garden, and you have a curriculum of classes and other activities to keep up with as well. Based on the demo, the world of this game feels very lived in. Everywhere you go, something is constantly happening, from your classmates sitting around and chatting about stuff, to random people in town dealing with their own situations. The game offers character customization, and there's also a skill tree to help you progress with your abilities. This one really feels special and magical, and I can't wait to dive into the full release, which is set for an undisclosed date in 2026. That's going to be all for today. Wow, 2 months of trying out demos and sharing my thoughts and feelings about them have come to an end. I'm really impressed with all the wonderful games I got to experience during this Next Fest. If you haven't seen the previous 2 videos in the series, I'll have them linked in the end screen. I would really love to hear which game on today's list sparked your interest. Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving it a like and subscribe if you want to see more. I'll happily check out future Next Fest games as they come, but in the meantime, in the upcoming couple of months, you can expect some Let's Plays and some video essays to liven up the channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this. See you in the next one.